Alhamdulillah wa salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah khayra khalqi Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa ala amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. First, sorry we changed the class and this time because between the Maghrib and Isha we have the Hifz class and the children online because they're going to school, so we have to do after the Isha, inshallah. To do the hadith, we write in fifth one of the hadith is Al-Baseerah Nawawi rahimahullah in the hadith al-Khamis is talking about the hadith Al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and Aisha radiyallahu anha. She said قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من أحدث في أمرنا هذا ما ليس منه فهو رد. من أحدث في أمرنا هذا ما ليس منه فهو رد. هذا حديث في رواية مسلم من عمل عملا ليس عليه أمرنا فهو رد. This is the hadith inshallah we're talking today about the meaning of the hadith and what is for the Muslim you have to understand about this hadith. The first one, al-Mu'mineen Abdullah Aisha radiyallahu anha is the zawjat al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, ahad al-ummahat al-Mu'mineen, and he's the bint of the Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu anha, and she's kunya Abdullah. She is Abdullah. She has the children, but because her sister she has it Abdullah because it's my auntie for the Abdullah, so it use it for them the hadith the kunya Abdullah because the auntie like the mom, yeah, خالة يعني. قال عن المؤمنين عبد الله عائشة رضي الله عنها هي عبد الله المؤمنين عائشة بنت أبي بكر الصديق. He said in hadith قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم من أحدث في أمرنا هذا فليس منه فهو رد. Who is even something in the Sharia, new one in the Sharia, ما ليس منه, and he give it is no from the Islam, he give it something new in Islam, he's a batil, he's a rejected, and he's a mardud, rad, and never accepted Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Rasulullah sallam. And also he said من عمل عملا ليس عليه أمرنا فهو رد. If somebody done some amal, maybe thinking is salih, we have two, just it's important. One, somebody give it information for the people, new ibadah, new thing. If you done this one, you will have an ajr. This one. And second one, if somebody follow this action, this for example, with action, for example, did this idea, he followed this idea, also this will be rejected. These two. So one, somebody give idea, new idea for the ibadah, and second one is following the idea. The first hadith said, Man ahdatha fi amrina, like this, who give it new idea in Sharia is bi batil. And the second one, who is following the new idea, don't have any reason, any proof from the Sharia, is bi batil. So we have man ahdatha fi amrina or man hamila amalan. So both of them is because no be excuse, no for who is giving the idea is no from Islam, and no is following something is no from the Sunnah of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he said is the Sunnah, is no be is done the bid'ah. The first one we'll go to with first hadith, man ahdatha fi amrina hadha falaysa minhu fahuwa radd. We have to understand two things about the hadith. One, we said any ibadah, the beginning the hadith is started with innamal a'malu binniyat, the first hadith in this book. He never accept Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala anything, any ibadah, if no the niyyah, the intention is be correct. Any ibadah, if you done, was right, the correct ibadah, like the salat, like this askar of the salat, and saum, and the fasting, and the hajj, any ibadah, we know is 100% is the ibadah, is the sunnah of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and is the wajib or the farz, any one of them. If somebody did this correct ibadah, but don't have a correct tension, so also is not accepted. The second one, so the one shart was niyyah. Is the niyyah, the tension, the correct tension is be only for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Face of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The second one, we have to be follow the sunnah of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The one part is the insight. After the iman, after all of them, if you want to accept you any action, we have to correct our attention is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The second one, we have to follow the sunnah of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If you done anything, for example, in your between your niyyah is correct, you need for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You need this only first of the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You need khair, you need good for thing, but is not correct with the sunnah, so its meaning is the batil. Because we said amal have a two shart. One, an-niyyah. A second one, mutabaat al-Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam never talking anything in himself. He's all the wahy. وَمَا يَنْتِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَىٰ إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا وَحْيٌ يُوحَىٰ. The ayah we read today in Surah Al-Najm in the Salat. So meaning that anything Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam talk, his meaning is the wahy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Maybe give the example to explain for us what meaning exactly the bid'ah. The beginning, we don't have to understand some of the people, they said we have bid'ah hasana and bid'ah sayyah, the good bid'ah and bad bid'ah. We don't have this one. It's not meaning we have to, for example, say something, the bid'ah word is exactly, if the sharia is meaning something like the haram. We can't say the halal, good haram and bad haram. Haram is haram anyway. The bid'ah in sharia, in the sunnah, in the muhaddithin, the bid'ah is the bid'ah. It's something like the haram. For example, when we did salat, if you miss some rukn of the salat, you can't say your salat haram. We say the salat is batil. Yeah. If, for example, if somebody is fasting, he eated something, we say your fasting is batil now. Broken your fasting. Broken your fasting. If, for example, something happened for the wuzu, we said broken the wuzu. But we can't say that your wuzu is haram. Your salat is haram. The haram is what we're using for the word, like the eated something is haram, and the failed action, for example, zina is haram, drink alcohol is haram, like this one. So the bid'ah also one word like this one. So we have a haram, batil, bid'ah, like that. The clear understanding. We can't say, for example, good haram, bad halal. So you can't say good bid'ah and bad bid'ah in sharia. Another one, yes, in our life with dunya, that's one, yes, you can see the good bid'ah. For example, al-hadath and bid'ah is mean something you give it new one. For example, now we have a technology. That's the bid'ah is new for our life. 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 100 years ago, we have this technology. Now we have a lot of things. It's for our life is the bid'ah, is new. Yeah, is the update in our life. This is for the life of the dunya, no for the sharia, because the sharia, Allah said, "Al-yawma akmaltu lakum dinakum wa atamtu alaykum ni'mati wa raditu lakum al-islam dina." The sharia is completed. Nothing missed Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Nothing missed the sharia to tell you have to do this ibadah or no. So now, if we give it anything new in the sharia, we say this one is some part of the sharia, or is the sharia, and you wish to Allah give for you ajr and bless you for what you're doing. This meaning now you go to the bid'ah. Give one of the example, for example. We have, for example, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Everybody loved the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the Sahaba they love him. And now the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is one shart of the iman. The who don't love the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam don't have iman. Like the Nabi is how much you love the Nabi sallallahu and the Allah subhanahu wa taala is high is meaning your level of the iman. Because Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam in hadith said for the Umar radiallahu anhu, when he asked about how much I love him, he said, I love you, Nabi Sallam, than everybody, my love, family, all of them. Only in myself. He said, still is no, your iman is not completed. He said, now I love you more than myself. So now, al-ana ya Umar, now you completed your iman. So the meaning, for example, now we go to the people. We have two groups. One, like the Shia, Rawafid. They want to say we love the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we love the Ahl Bayt Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but they doing any shirk and khuraf or bid'ah, all they are doing because they want to see this the bid'ah. Is the, for example, they post when happened for the Ali radiallahu anhu or Hussein radiallahu anhu. Okay, these 3 days, weeks, 40 days, and they doing the Shia hating themselves. They thinking because I love him, I do this one. Of course, the bid'ah is haram. Never you can't find this one. It's haram anyway. No done the Sahaba, no done any ulama. Lot of any ulama of the Salaf. Never by done this one. So to the group, you want to say because I love him, this hitting is for the love. Or because I'm feeling sad, I doing this one. is bid'ah, is the haram, is this going to the shirk. Somebody, for example, grape. When you go in the grape, people they building in the grape, putting the picture, writing the ayah of the Quran, putting something green, this one, because you want to show this is we respect this the grape. Is first, if you don't ask from the grape who is here, don't help him, don't ask him the help, you done the bid'ah, is the haram. The second part, if you ask him to go to the shirk, but the action we done is the bid'ah. Now we go another one. For example, we have the happening, unfortunately, in Ahl Sunnah. You can find some of the country. Today, the birthday of the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is the Mawlud. And they sitting, reading the share. Poetry, and they reading the ayat, or they reading standing in the night here, they're reading and food, anything, just only want to see this for the love of the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and because it's the Nabi Sallallahu birthday. No, I want to ask him, you love the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi more than the Abu Bakr or Sahaba, all of them? What they didn't? What's mean the bid'ah? Yes, you want to give you an idea, they have at that time, we doing? No, is that meaning? So it's meaning the bid'ah, anything you find it is no the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. We go to other thing. People they thinking if you give it something is no for the Sharia, that time is the bid'ah. If something is no from the Sharia, is no direct with the Sharia, have some connection with the Sharia, that's the case is bid'ah. If you don't have any connection with the Sharia, it's bid'ah. For example, we have in the Hadith in Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam 3 times reading the Qul Huwallahu Ahad, Qul Falaq, Qul Rabbin Nas when you want to sleep. Okay? And the Hadith Nabi Sallam said, if you read 3 times Qul Huwallahu, this mu'awwadat, you have to be both in your hand and touch your whole body. That is Sunnah. When? Before to sleeping. I come, we have a same askar, Qul Huwallahu, Qul Falaq, Qul Rabbin Nas, Ayatul Kursi, we have in Fajr Salat, Maghrib Salat, we have in Askar Sabah wa Masa. Okay, not meaning every time I read the Qul Huwallahu Ahad, Qul Rabbin Nas, I have to be touch my body. Is no of the Sunnah, is the bid'ah. Now, because the Sunnah Nabi Sallam said this one only for before to sleep. Is not mean same for just only for Qul Huwallahu, Qul Falaq, Qul Rabbin Nas. I say okay, because I sleeping, I read any askar I read it in this before to sleeping, I both in my hand and touch my body. Is meaning this action is now is bid'ah. The first one for Qul Huwallahu, Qul Falaq, Qul Rabbin Nas was Sunnah because Nabi Sallam done. But the third one for Ayatul Kursi, for the Surah Al-Mulk, for the another askar, I given myself. So meaning is the bid'ah. Somebody sitting after the askar, they're reading the askar of the salat, you know, like this one. Breathing and they close it. No, the Sunnah. Who said this one? For where you give it? The Sharia is completed. We can't give anything. Nabi Sallallahu he done the salat. He read after salat. He's done this askar. That's the Sunnah. Anything more you give it, new in your idea, you want to do some of the askar with different idea, different action, is now is come bid'ah. So is not the correct. So the first one we said is intention and niyyah. If your niyyah is correct, the second one we need following the hadith of Nabi Sallallahu Alayhi Wasallam, mutabi'ah. Mutabi'ah meaning you have to do any ibadah you want to do, you have to first check. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam done this one or no? If no, is no ibadah. But maybe you ask, maybe some people will be confused with between something is we help the people to teach him the Sharia. For example, if I said that time wasn't a book or wasn't a laptop, yeah, the people they was memorizing for their memory, or they was writing for something else. So now because I using the tablet, his meaning is a bid'ah. Because we're using the phone is a bid'ah. Because I want to teach the online is a bid'ah. No, is a bid'ah because it's the way the asbab, the technology use them to teach. But if I said, okay, I apply my phone to see after the salat 33 times Subhana Rabbi al-A'la, Subhanallah, or Alhamdulillah, yes, you don't know the bid'ah because not accept for you, because you have to see with your tongue, no with the technology. But if you want to teach, is no bid'ah, is one of the wasail, the way you want to teach the Sharia. So, for example, now we have a class after the Isha, for example, we have it after the Maghrib, because this time for us is available, we can sit together and to learn. Is not meaning, you see, because you sitting after the Isha or after Maghrib for time for the learning, for the hadith, for the shah, for the hadith, for the Quran, for the fiqh, is meaning you done the bid'ah. No, this time was, for example, the Sahaba, the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Umar anhu, he was one day he was working, and he's the man who was working for him. He was sitting Nabi sallam to learn. When they coming in the night, what you learned today from Nabi sallam, he was sharing with Umar anhu. The next day, Umar was sitting for the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The man he was working in the farm. When he's come back in the night, they were sitting together sharing what they learned today from Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's not in the bid'ah. So it's the way. So the bid'ah is coming, just understanding clear about the bid'ah. Any worship, any ibadah, if you want to do them, any ibadah you want to do, you have to find the proof Nabi Sallam is done or no. We can't give the new ibadah, never. That's meaning is the sunnah of Nabi Sallam. Okay. Another, because Nabi Sallam said, "Man ahdatha fi amrina hada ma laysa minhu fawaradun." If you give it anything is no from the hadith of Nabi Sallam, is the batil, rejected. And also the people they're thinking, if I done this one, I have okay. If I don't have a ajr, I don't have a sin. No, same the haram fail is have a sin. If you done the bid'ah, no ajr, we're not getting the ajr, but also you have a sin because you give us something new in the Sharia. You change the rule of the Sharia, or something is not from the Sharia. So the bid'ah is the batil, the action, the ibadah who is doing not giving any ajr. And more than this one, he has a sin, has a ma'siyah. He done the ma'siyah. Because the ulama said, if you find it any bid'ah, you kill it with this bid'ah one sunnah. Because you're changing the sunnah to the bid'ah, or you missing the bid'ah, the sunnah, to be follow the sunnah. Follow the bid'ah. This is happening. So no, the ulama said no bid'ah is in the life if you kill it one of the sunnah of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. For example, we say the askar. We can't find in any hadith and any ayah the all we're talking about tasbih, a zikr of the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, only melody song. Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Astaghfirullah, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. You always fighting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala name, but you can't find anyway. For example, every time we say sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Do you have any ajr? We have a durud, this ajr, yes? And Nabi sallallahu said, who said one time for me sallallahu alaihi wasallam, especially in the Friday, you have a 10 ajr. And Allah said, "Inna Allah malaikatu yusalluna ala nabi, ya alladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima." And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said durud for Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So, when I said sallallahu alaihi wasallam is a durud. If I said Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad kama said durud. Oh, what you know? But if I come said Muhammad, 100 times in the morning time, do you have ajr? Never. You done the bid'ah.
It's not even bid'ah. This is
because this
is disrespectful.
Because no done Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, no done the Sahaba. It's the batil. Is no ajr. Because if I said, if you want to talk, no one can't find in the Nabi sallallahu in the hadith and the Sahaba like this one. If I said 100 times, for example, you can find all the askar of the Sharia with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tasbih. Tasbih is subhanallah, alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar, astaghfirullah, la ilaha illallah, wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. All of them with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala coming some madh. Madh meaning in English? Madh, if you tell somebody, for example, praise. But if I said, and myself, said 1,000 times Allah, Allah. I said, who? Yes. We give the question at the end of the exam. So, no is coming in the Sunnah al-Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We don't have any proof from the Sunnah al-Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, you said, for example, tell 1,000 times Allahu Akbar, Allah. But you have in the Askar, the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, who said in the day 100 times, La ilaha illallah, wahdahu la sharika lah, is the best one. If somebody done more than this one, who is the best one? Who done more? So it means no limited. But if I come after the salat, we have 33 times, we have 25 times, or we have 10 times. I said, okay, I want to do the Askar, Allahu Akbar, of salat 50 times. I want to do 70 times. Yes, it's Askar, but the limited, the adat, the accounted, the number you done more than you have to do, because you changed the sunnah to something else. That's coming as a bid'ah. Maybe you have some connection with the sunnah, the beginning, but you give a new one because the sharia is completed. So it is meaning the rules of the sharia, the shart, al-ibadah huwa tawqifiyya. Tawqifiyya is meaning just only accepting when was have a wahi. Maybe give you another idea. The people, they tell you when the Umar after Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, like Salat Tarawih. The one of the big reasons the people they find, they tell you the bid'ah hasana or sayya is the word of the Umar radiallahu anhu. He said, name al-bid'ah. Yeah. And the people use this word to sell you bid'ah hasana and bid'ah and sayya. They can't say it for you. For example, if I tell you, like the Rawafah, like the Shia, they tell you the Tarawih is a bid'ah because Omar around her time he's done. Read it together. We'll come back to the Sunnah Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam read his salat 3 times and end Ramadan in his life. And said, I didn't continue this salat because I was worried it's be wajib for you. Nabi sallallahu done with himself and done with the jama'ah behind the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the Sahaba. Okay, so we have the proof. Nabi sallallahu is done, and we have a proof he done with jama'ah. Let's finish it. Why he didn't continue this salat? The first one, he said, I was worried maybe it's be wajib. The second one, he didn't come to next year in the life to do. Okay, happened this one in the Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu time. There was in Tarawih. Everybody sitting together like the Qiyamul Layl. Everybody carried in his house. They were reading together everybody carrying, for example, for himself, and at home they're reading the Qiyamul Layl. Come in the Ramadan time, the Sahaba was doing one group here. For example, we have in this masjid 2 people sitting there reading together Salat Tarawih. 2 is here, another room. He said, you are anyway, you stay here. And Nabi Sallam is done together. Said one of the Qurra, you lead the Salat and all read together Salat Tarawih. Is it bid'ah? Okay, if he's reading together is bid'ah, okay, Nabi Sallam done together. The old Sahaba read it between the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. The bid'ah for this word is not meaning the bid'ah, the meaning of the Sharia. Not meaning the bid'ah in the mustalah, in the understanding of the bid'ah and the Sharia. In the bid'ah he's using for example, something, we see the bid'ah is meaning ibda, is something people they miss it and you renew it again. Or for example, is no before and this technology we haven't before in our life, this in our life is a bid'ah. What we say for the dunya is the allow. So the Nabi, the Umar anhu, the fi'l, the Salat Tarawih, is come back to the Sabin Salat and fi'l. He's done Tarawih, so he's done. He's done with Jama'ah, and he led Salat, one Imam behind them people. So was one Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So when Umar anhu done, he done same Tarawih, one Imam, Nabi Sallam was one. Then with Jama'ah, Nabi Sallam done with Jama'ah, and they read the Quran, and also what Nabi Sallam was doing from the beginning until end of the night. And they done similar. So it's not coming bid'ah. So not that, but when you give the any ibadah, you don't have any proof from the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is to be bid'ah. Because the bid'ah mukhalifun liqawl Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He's the opposite that what Nabi Sallam said. Because the bid'ah, we said كلها, all bid'ah is batil, is none of them in a bid'ah is be correct and sahih with the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And also we said about the hadas, the action and for the idea. So if the bid'ah was an idea, also is the bid'ah, is the batil, and the bid'ah if was the action. Somebody follow this one, also is bid'ah. It's not excuse, for example, for me, because the people they doing this one, if I follow, is not my mistake. Because, for example, this sheikh done the fatwa, and that's all done the fatwa, and the people they was doing, in my country they doing, lot of people they doing, so I be follow this one, is not my mistake. They mistake. So because they done, I will do. So now, it's not excuse. So who is doing the fail, and who is give the idea, both of them is the rejected, and is not from the sunnah of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I will be stopping here, inshallah. If you have any question, I will help you.